Good day everyone. In this video, I will be discussing major classical and modern art movements, their key proponents, contexts, beliefs, and one representative artwork for each. This presentation will help us understand how art evolved alongside history, culture, and new ways of seeing the world. Classical movements and techniques: naturalism, fresco painting, oil painting, humanism, tempera painting. Modern art movements: Impressionism, Post-Impressionism, Cubism, Fauvism, Expressionism, Dadaism, Surrealism, and pop art. Art movements give background knowledge on different artworks and artists in history. Classical movements and techniques: naturalism, proponent, Caravaggio. Flourishing context: late 16th–17th century Italy, during the Baroque period. Beliefs: focus on realistic representation, everyday subjects, and lifelike details. Artwork: The Calling of Saint Matthew shows natural lighting, realistic expressions, and dramatic realism typical of naturalism. The Calling of Saint Matthew, by Caravaggio, and some examples of realistic representation. Humanism, proponent, Leonardo da Vinci. Context: Renaissance era, mainly Italy, 14th–16th century. Influenced by renewed interest in classical Greek and Roman knowledge. Beliefs: human beings are central. Art focuses on reason, proportion, anatomy, and the beauty of the human form. Artwork: Vitruvian Man represents ideal human proportions and humanist philosophy. Fresco painting, proponent, Michelangelo. Context: Renaissance Italy, used in churches and large wall surfaces. Beliefs: painting on wet plaster to create long-lasting murals, focuses on religious storytelling. Artwork: The Creation of Adam, Sistine Chapel, a perfect example of monumental fresco technique. Tempera painting, proponent, Sandro Botticelli. Context: medieval to early Renaissance Europe, used before oil painting became dominant. Beliefs: egg yolk mixed with pigments produced bright, fast-drying colors. Artwork: The Birth of Venus. Iconic tempera work with smooth textures and delicate lines. Oil painting, proponent, Jan van Eyck. Context: flourished in the Northern Renaissance, 1400s. Beliefs: rich, deep colors. Slow drying allowed blending and detailed textures. Artwork: Arnolfini portrait showcases realism, depth, and detailed oil layering. Modern art movements: Impressionism, proponent, Claude Monet. Context: late 1800s France, industrialization and changing city life. Beliefs: capturing light, color, and momentary impressions rather than details. Artwork: impression, sunrise, loose brushwork and vibrant lighting define Impressionism. Post-Impressionism, proponent, Vincent van Gogh. Context: late 19th century, artists wanted more emotion and structure beyond Impressionism. Beliefs: emphasis on personal expression, bold colors, symbolic meaning. Artwork: starry night, swirling skies and emotional intensity characterize this movement. Cubism, proponent, Pablo Picasso. Context: early 20th century Paris, rise of modernism and scientific ideas about perception. Beliefs: breaking objects into geometric shapes to show multiple viewpoints. Artwork: Les Demoiselles d'Avignon. Fragmented forms and sharp angles introduce Cubism. Fauvism, proponent, Henri Matisse. Context: early 1900s France, reaction against realism. Beliefs: use of wild, non-naturalistic colors, emotional intensity over detail. Artwork: woman with a hat, bright, expressive colors typical of Fauvism. Expressionism, proponent, Edvard Munch. Context: early 20th century Germany, rising anxiety and urban tension. Beliefs: art expresses inner emotions rather than outward reality. Artwork: the scream, distorted figures and dramatic color show psychological fear. Dadaism. Proponent, Marcel Duchamp. Context, World War I era. Artists reacted against violence and logic. Beliefs, anti-art, absurdity, and challenging traditional meaning. Artwork, fountain, a ready-made urinal that questions what counts as art. Surrealism. Proponent, Salvador Dali. Context, 1920s to 1930s Europe, influenced by Freud and the subconscious mind. Beliefs, dream imagery, irrational combinations, and free imagination. Context, 1920s to 1930s Europe, influenced by Freud and the subconscious mind. Beliefs, dream imagery, irrational combinations, and free imagination. Artwork, the persistence of memory. Melting clocks represent distorted dreamtime. Pop art. Proponent, Andy Warhol. Context, 1950s to 60s America, age of mass media and consumer culture. Beliefs, celebrates popular culture, advertisements, celebrities, and mass production. Artwork, Marilyn Diptych. Repeated images highlight fame, media, and consumerism. Among all the movements, the one that resonates with me most is Impressionism. I appreciate how Impressionist artists captured the beauty of everyday moments using light, color, and atmosphere. Their paintings feel peaceful, spontaneous, and full of life, reminding us to notice small yet beautiful moments around us. Thank you for watching.